Now, some thoughts to the young adult sisters. Unfortunately, there are many men in this world who will not heed this advice. You deserve better than them. But he can be so exciting, so romantic, he can say all the right things, you might say. That's right. He can be an incredibly good actor. Is he acting or is he sincere? If he knows virtue is important to you and he truly loves you, he will not ask you to sacrifice something so important to you for his momentary pleasure. You will be tempted to define your status by how much boys or men pay attention to you or are attracted to you. You are not just an attractive body, and anybody who treats you that way doesn't deserve your attention. Your value is not based on whether you have a boyfriend. Your value is not based on how many men are attracted to you. Your value comes because of who you are, not because of who they are. You have value as a child of God. Those who see having a boyfriend as a status symbol do not understand this, and someday they will wish they had. The people whose opinions really matter value you for reasons that are not so shallow. This is hard. We naturally want people to think highly of us, to respect us. Life is a long time. Eternity is even longer. Mortgaging the relationship with your future husband, someone who will mean more to you than anything else, risking injury to that relationship in the future, in order to buy acceptance from peers who are here today and most of them gone in just a few years. This is one of the worst trade-offs you could make. Your happiness for many years to come is worth more than a few months of happiness with a boyfriend today. If you're in a dating relationship and it's starting to fall apart, and Prince Charming says you should start having sex because that will save the relationship, otherwise he's gone, warning, huge red flag. That relationship is already over. And having sex with him now is only going to make it exceedingly more painful when you break up. My heart breaks for the many women who have caved to that temptation and spent years, sometimes even the rest of their lives, wishing they hadn't. Countless are the women whose hearts have been broken because they believed sleeping with a man, before he had made any meaningful, lasting commitments to her, would strengthen a relationship she cared about, only to learn that now that he had what he wanted, sex, he was uninterested in commitment at all. She found out at extraordinary cost that he loved her body, but did not love her. 16 years ago, I heard a conversation that still breaks my heart. A group of girls, I would guess they were around 18 years old, was discussing how awful they felt that all their boyfriends cared about was sex, and that it looked like you had to give up on your principles if you wanted a man to like you. No, you don't. If you are looking for a relationship with someone who shares your principles, there is wisdom in looking in places where those principles are actively taught. Now, because I know what it feels like to be a father of a daughter and to desire her safety and happiness, I am going to say something that will be unpopular. I will preface it by hearkening back to my prior comments that nobody ever deserves sexual abuse. Nobody who experiences such trauma got what they were asking for. Never. I hope this is unmistakably understood. The world will attempt to define you by your appearance. You will be tempted to dress immodestly because others do, or because it gets attention from men. This is not a lecture on modesty. I highly recommend the principles in For the Strength of Youth, and I will share just one insight about modesty that may not be obvious. Immodest clothing. Specifics in For the Strength of Youth include clothing that is tight, sheer, or revealing, short shorts and short skirts, shirts that do not cover the stomach, are low cut on the front or the back. This kind of clothing will indeed get you attention, but it will get you attention from exactly the kind of men you do not want. The kind of men we've been discussing. The kind of men who are fascinated in a disturbing way by your body, but could care less about your soul. Furthermore, it can scare away the man you really are looking for. The loving, devoted man you dream of sees a difference between beautiful and sexy. There's nothing wrong with seeking to look beautiful, but immodest attire sends a message about how you do or do not respect your body, and to many, it is not beautiful at all.